Floozy hit a slender lead. It's Floozy just in front. Scud very late. Floozy's won the silk stocking.
Hi guys, and welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop, episode 373, proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. Today we'll preview our runners for the first day of the Magic Millions Carnival at the Gold Coast at Twilight Race Day on Saturday. Morning, Tony. The Summer Carnival is heading to the Gold Coast for these two big meetings and the sales. How's everything ticking along towards the Gold Coast?
Yeah, good morning everyone. Looking forward to a big 2 weeks at the Gold Coast. Racing starting this Saturday and then obviously on to the 17th to the Magic Millions. I don't know, it's probably the main meeting, but the two meetings are really good now. They work well in sync with each other. Big lot of prize money to be won over both days racing. And also lots of money going through the ring there at the sales. So there'll be something for everyone, big catalogue of yearlings. The team down there inspecting, headed by John Foote, they're doing a good job. They've just about got through everything already. So we're nearly on to our final looks of the horses that we think that we may be able to purchase. It's always a bit of a hit and miss sale, but look, I think anyone out there who wants to get involved in a horse, get in contact with Andrew or the team here at Gollan Racing, and there will be something for everyone. That's the sort of sale it is. There's so many horses go through there. There's horses to suit every budget. So, don't be thinking that they're only just for the expensive horses at Magic Millions. There is a horse for every budget at this sale.
And just before we look forward to this weekend, just looking back at Eagle Farm last week, we had some solid performances throughout the day, but had to wait until the last to get a winner for the day, where our little mate Hell broke through for his first win for the stable, and there was plenty of happy connections there on Saturday.
Yeah, there was, and happy punters, I think, as well. A lot of punters over the fence, happy connections. I mean, I think he was an anchor for a lot of multis on the day. He went really well. I thought the track race good Saturday. I think Eagle Farm's done a really good job. It's had the 4 Saturdays in a row, and I think it's raced really, really well. Good news for Eagle Farm, a bit more clarity on that new stand getting started,
definitely.
which is going to be great come the end of this winter carnival. I start construction there. But no, good day's racing. Some of the mares went well. Looking forward for that part of the carnival now done as we move on to the Gold Coast.
And we will head on to our preview of our runners at the Gold Coast on Saturday. A big day down there for us. The rail will be in the true position. Track is currently a soft 5. Mostly fine conditions forecast into the weekend, possibly a brief shower or two, but hopefully they've had a tricky run with weather and whatnot down at the Gold Coast, so hopefully that's all behind them and we can have a fair and reasonable track down there on Saturday and into next week as well. How do you think that track will set up there on Saturday?
I think they'd like a few showers, to be honest. Pretty warm weather. The sun's got a good bit of bite in it, as it should this time of the year. I think a shower wouldn't hurt the track. I'll be surprised if they don't get a shower. If they don't, they will water on the morning. We saw them do that into that night meeting the other day. A little bit scared of this rail going back to the true, to be perfectly honest. 2 metres that night, I thought it raced really, really well. I think when you get back in that true, that fresh ground, hard on that inside, you can get that inside bias. So, I mean, you're going to have to watch these early races. We're engaged pretty early, but I'm a little bit nervous. Rail true, fast ground, it might be hard to make up ground.
On to race 1, where we'll kick off our runners. The cutest 2-year-old Gold Nugget for Colton Geldings over 1,100 metres. We will have little Itchintogo. Will carry 58 kilos. Ryan Maloney will take the ride from barrier 4. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $1.65 to win and $1.20 for the place. Really good winner in the Feeling Ready over this same trip 5 weeks ago. He's had a space between runs and a tick over jump out. Tongue control and lugging bit goes on this time. How do you think he will present on Saturday?
Yeah, just play around with his bit. He just wanted to do a little bit too much in his jump out. That wasn't totally unexpected to a degree because he was quite fresh going into it. He had a good space. My plan off that last run was to always head towards this race. He's found the right field. He steps quick, gets on his bike. I'd imagine him to step quick, find that fence, and hopefully that's the last they see of him. The horse is in great shape, really settled at home here in the yard, and he's certainly there to put on. I think this will be his best performance so far this prep. And hopefully we can then hold him together 7 days into the Millions.
On to race 3, which will be the Magic Millions maiden plate over 1,400 metres. We will have 2 runners in this race. The first of those is Spanish Treasure. Will carry 57 kilos. Tommy Berry will take the steer and unfortunately jump from barrier 14. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $3.50 for the win and $1.70 for the place. Been impressive in all his starts. Got the very strong form behind Grafter Burners and Alpha Sophie last prep. Blinkers come off this time. How do you think he will go Saturday?
I think they're really good. 14 doesn't sound great, but 14 to 21. So you're sort of 2/3 of the way out. He's in good order. as long as we can find a reasonable enough spot on him, he's got a pretty versatile racing pattern. You can be closer, you can come from second half. It wouldn't really matter. As long as Tommy gets in a reasonable position and we get a fair enough track, he can run really well. He's certainly a real quality horse to be going back to a maiden.
And the second of our runners will be Reconciliate. She will carry 55 kilos with Angela Jones on board, jump from barrier 4. Early odds with Ladbrokes, $21 for the win and $5.50 for the place. She was really good first up, only her second career start at the Sunshine Coast. Will benefit from the run. We did have a slight query up to the 1400, but it's certainly worth finding out at these kind of races.
I think the low draw is a friend, Matty. She's going to get a lovely run. She had a lovely run at the Sunshine Coast, and she was good, and she was beaten by a horse that had pretty good maiden form. I think she's going to get a lovely run here around about that second, third pair, or just on the back of the speed at 1400, and she'll give a good side. She's clearly the second of my two picks, but she is guaranteed the better run in transit.
Then on to our next race will be race 5, the Magic Millions Rising Stars for the Colts, Geldings and Entires over 1,300 metres. Race restricted to the 3 and 4 year olds, and we've been lucky enough to win this 3 years ago with Spiritualised. This year we will have 3 runners in this race. The first of those is Now Is the Hour. He's just behind us in his box. Might come over and say good day. There he is. He will carry 58.5 kilos with Angela Jones on board. Jump from barrier 14. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $3.40 for the win and $1.70 for the place. He was super last start at Eagle Farm over 1,200 metres with a dominant win there. Steps up half a furlong here, but we've always had this race earmarked for him.
Absolutely, the horse is in great shape. The barrier is a little bit tricky. He's a go-forward horse. There is a bit of pressure in the race looking through it, but from where he's drawn, look, he's just going to be able to dominate from the top. You know, whatever takes him on is going to be a death sentence for them. So he's going to have to roll, you know, take up the play, and then, you know, hopefully he can back himself down a touch and give himself every chance. But he's a good, strong, bold running horse. I'm not going to change his pattern for fear of different form lines. I think he's a quality galloper. Even if he does a little bit too much work, I think he's going to be very hard to beat.
The second of our runners will be Held to Pay. Will carry 57 kilos. Craig Williams on board will jump from barrier 3. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $20 for the win and $5.50 for the place. New addition for the stable and will be first up for us. Had success at this carnival 12 months ago in the maiden 1400. Has been given a good trial and jump out in the lead up. How do you think he will present first up?
He'll be looking for that same sort of run. He'll be looking to jump and try and find a spot, you know, around about third pair, something like that behind what looks to be a good speed, then try and build off that. He's new to the stable. It's his first run for us. It's obviously a pretty tricky race to have him in straight away, but he's a very fit horse. He works himself well. I think his action's improving throughout the prep. So I think he puts himself in a nice position. Just whether he could beat these really hard race fit horses first up or not, I'm not sure, but he's certainly presenting with nice fresh legs.
And the third of our runners will be Abender. Will carry 57 kilos. Ryan Maloney on board. Jump from barrier 15. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $27 for the win and $6.50 for the place. He's ever consistent gelding, placing in his past 4 starts this prep, including a really strong win. Last start was a strong from the back, coming home third. Tricky from the draw, but he'll appreciate that good tempo in front.
He should have won his last couple, really. He's just had no luck. And you know, for a horse like him, he's going to be in the second half of the field from where he's drawn. He's going to need luck in running and obviously a fair track. So how this track plays will be a lot to do with these horses settling in the second half. But this race does look to have enough pressure up front. He will suck up and find the line. He's going really good, this horse, and he's just due for that change of luck. He's just having to always alter his path and just change course. And unfortunately, his last 2 starts, that's why he's been beaten. I think with a smooth run in transit, he can run really well because the tempo sets up for him. But now's the hour on top.
On top of the 3. Thank you. Then we'll head over to race 6. Will be the Sunlight Consolation Plate. For 3-year-olds over 1,100 metres, we will have 2 runners in this race. First of those will be Forgotten Spirit. Carry 55 kilos. Craig Williams on board will jump from barrier 15. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $8.50 for the win and $2.80 for the place. Won earlier this preparation over 1,000 metres before a really good second, and then been racing well down at the Gold Coast in that 3-year-old feature. How do you think it presents for her?
I think off a good barrier, presents great. Off a wide draw, it's really tricky.
Yep.
Craig will no doubt tell me how he wants to ride him. He'll do enough homework on her, I thought a good strong right-handed whip rider would suit her. She wants to lay in a little bit. She's going particularly well. She's still, in my opinion, right there in the preparation. It's just what sort of run we're able to get off the draw is going to be tricky. And that'll come down to how the track's playing and where we think she maps. So For me, it's tricky from the barrier, but she's definitely still going well enough. She's got the right form to definitely win the race. It's just what sort of run we secure.
And the second of our runners is Exceloquent. She will carry 55 kilos. Tommy Berry will take the ride and jump from barrier 9. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $15 for the win and $4.20 for the place. A winner to start her preparation before a couple of good seconds. Just pipped in the last few strides. Last start, tongue control and lucky bit goes on first time. How do you think she'll present from barrier 9?
I think she'll present well. She's a nice filly. She's a quick filly, got good speed. Just brought herself undone racing a bit keen. That horse then come out and won that benchmark 70 in town the Saturday post that. So she's got the right form around her. Got a good jockey on board. She'll step well. Finds a nice enough sort of spot, I think. The bit change is just to control her breathing that little bit better. She doesn't hang, just controls her breathing and touch better. So slight alteration there. I think she's a nice filly, really nice filly. I found this race really hard to line up map-wise, where everyone's going to find their spot. So I've tricky draws for my two. I find it hard to line up, and I actually don't have much between these two. I think Exceloquent's a really good filly, but she's still learning her craft.
We'll move on to race 8, the Magic Millions Syndicate over 1,100 metres. We'll have 3 runners in this race. First of our runners will be Golden Boom, will carry 58.5 kilos. Ryan Maloney on board and jump from barrier 11. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $4.20 for the win and $1.75 for the place. Fought on for a tough 5th in the Bribey last start after a really wide run in transit. Won the Gold Market just under a year ago at this same track and trip and gets a similar gate here today. How do you think it sets up for him?
It sets up just one plan, out and go. There's no mucking around. From where he's drawn, similar to where he won the Gold Market, just jump, dominate from up on the front. He's very well placed to wait for age against these horses. I think it's a race with only a few chances in it personally. If we can negate the barrier early, he'll be very hard to beat. So it's up to horse jockey combo to step well, roll forward, put him in a forward position, put him in a winning position after half furlong. If that happens, I think he's exceptionally hard to beat.
The second of our runners will be King Kapa. Will carry 58.5 kilos with Tommy Berry on board and jump from barrier 6. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $18 for the win and $4.20 for the place. He's been solid in his first 2 runs, his preparation in tough grade. Gets to his right trip now, rock hard fit, third up. How do you think it sets up for him on Saturday?
Well, I think you'll see a lot better King Kapa in this race. I think he stepped well. We took him to the Gold Coast early. He's not a great traveller on the day of the races, so we've finished his work off here at Eagle Farm, seen him down to the coast, team looking after him down there. He'll present well. He'll jump, he'll race a lot further forward here. I think he's been getting far too far back in his races, his first 2 runs back. And to me, he's really peaking up in the preparation. So I think you'll see him race a lot better than his odds. Do I think he can beat Golden Boom? No, I don't. But I do think he's going to get a lovely run around about 4th, 5th, and then from there put himself into the race.
And the third of our runners will be Brereton. Will carry 58.5 kilos with Angela Jones on board. Will jump from barrier 8. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $31 for the win and $6 for the place. He's first up for this campaign and first up for his new connections. Won a trial and then had another jump out last week to get him ready for this race. It is a bit of a throw at the stumps, but he will present well first up.
Oh, he worked phenomenal here Tuesday morning. He is really in good order. I left the blinkers on him. I put him on him late last prep, and I thought it was worthwhile leaving him on fresh up. I see him midfield here. I don't see him probably up on speed. I see him sort of mid. If you can find a sort of a blended spot there, somewhere behind King Kapa, he can run well. He's not up to the quality of the other horse under these weight scale conditions, but he certainly deserves a chance. And he's got the fresh legs. The Golden Boom goes on top. I think he's my best chance for the meeting.
Yep, beautiful. Then we will head on to race 9, one of the big feature races of the meeting, the $3 million Magic Millions Sunlight 3-year-old slot race over 1,100 metres. Been lucky enough to snag a slot with Foreign Press. She will carry 55 kilos. CJ Graham, who knows her so well, will take the ride from jump from barrier 8. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $18 for the win and $4.20 for the place. She's had a super career so far as a 2-year-old and continued on as a 3-year-old, finishing with a black type win last start in the listed mode stakes. Running in the tab slot for this race. Exciting times for everyone involved. How do you think it sets up for her?
Yeah, well, first I'd like to thank Tab for giving this fill-in opportunity here. I think it sets up pretty well. When you first look at barrier 8, you get a little bit worried. But then you look at the shape of the race, and nearly all the speed, well, majority of that speed, there is a lot of speed in this race, is outside of us. And some proper horses that want to get running. Sword Play, we saw how quick it was at the Gold Coast the other night. It really crossed quick. Ice Cool, the horse of David Pfeiffer's, it was uncontrollably hard on speed in Sydney and still won. So it's going to go quick. You got Gay's horse, North England, and Chris Anderson's horse. Another horse is very pacey. They ran 1-2 at the Coast the other night, sort of place. So all that hard on speed is drawn wide of us, which is great because our filly's very quick out. She's quick out the gate. She can roll with that speed, then lob into the spot behind it. I don't think the barrier is too big a problem at all. I found this race, you look at it 100 times and you get different scenarios of where they're all going to find their spot. But one thing that's not hidden is how quick they're going to go here. And you're going to need a horse very strong at the end of that 1100, and we're coming back from that 1200 metre win. So I think the favourite's still really hard to beat from that low draw with McDonald on him. Drawn 2, he's going to do no work. But I really think our filly can fill a slot here. I think she can certainly do a top 3 job.
Yeah. And then we will move on to the last race of the day is race 10. The $1.5 million QTIS Open over 1,300 metres. A race we've won with Hidden Wealth last year and Outback Barbie and I'm a Ripper in the past as well. This year we will have 3 runners to hopefully continue that streak. The first of those will be Boomtown Boss. We'll carry 53.5 kilos. Craig Williams on board and jump from barrier 11. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $3.60 for the win and $1.60 for the place. Close second last start in the listed Tats recognition before third in the Gateway over 1,400 as well. How do you think he will present on Saturday?
Maybe it's Willow why I'm getting all these bad draws. I'm not the visitor here, racing Queensland. I'm a local. Obviously my jockey is a visitor, so they're making it awfully hard for him. And I think this is tricky off the gate. If I look at this race, it doesn't map with a lot of speed. Also Toby Edmonds looks to be the clear leader. Yeah. There's not a lot of tempo. The only thing in your favour here, it's the last race of the night. If the track is fancy early on, pressure will build in these races, particularly in a race of the handicap where you get so many horses on a lightweight. Yeah. You're hopeful a few of those are going to be able to show tempo and put pressure into the race. And if that's the case, it suits us. I don't know where we land from out there. All I do know is we're outside horses, which isn't a bad thing for this horse. He needs a bit of galloping room. He's a quirky bugger. At the weights, he's the winner. It's just what sort of run we get and how the track plays. But he's definitely the winner at the weights, in my opinion. It's just the sort of run we get.
The second of our runners is Johnny Rambo. Will carry 52 kilos. Angela Jones will take the steer from barrier 1. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $6 for the win and $2.10 for the place. He came home with a huge run last start, weaving through just to, up the inside of the track at Eagle Farm, where it was tough to make ground that day. If the Johnny Rambo that we know turns up and gets the right run, he can certainly. He can
definitely win the 52. This race here, I think, has got a huge tail to it. I think there's very few winning chances. He's definitely one of them. If he can hold a position from barrier 1, rather than being right out the second half of the field, it just makes Angie's job and the horse's job so much easier. He's settling so much better in his races now. I would not be opposed to giving him a bit of a squeeze to hold a position. I think if we do that, and he can hold a spot, he's very hard to beat with 52. 1,300 is no concern for him at all. He's a different horse, his preparation. Every run has been good, and he's been set for this race.
And the last of our runners will be Bossed Up. Will carry 52 kilos. Benny Thompson on board and jump from barrier 4. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $7 for the win and $2.30 for the place. Form lines are good with beating Hell 2 starts ago and was a close third in the same race as Johnny Rambo last start. Again, with a lightweight and a nice low draw, sets up well for him.
Well, he's one that can tactically hold a spot, as we saw when he beat Hell 2 starts ago. He drew low, so he could jump and hold a spot on the back of the speed, and he won convincingly well at 1,100. He's never won out past that distance, but his last run at 1,200 indicates that he could. He drew wide the other day, so we're forced to have to go back and make our run home, run through them. He's run really well the other day. He'll hold a much closer spot than what a lot of speed maps have him. So that's one thing I am sure of. Off that good draw, he can jump and he can be running 4th, 5th. Yep. If he's 4th, 5th in running, he can run a race here with 52 on his back for sure and certain. Boomtown Boss on top for me. He's another one of my really good chances on the card. I hate the wide draw with the tempo, but he's so well weighted in this race. I still think he's hard to beat.
Now we are on to the final furlong of the Final Gallop. Tony, who is your best winning chance on Magic Millions Day at the Gold Coast on Saturday?
I've already mentioned I thought Golden Boom was. Itchintogo is my best chance in race 1, but he's too short. So for me, it's Golden Boom. I know he's drawn awkward, a bit like Boomtown Boss. Yep. But I do believe he's got the speed to cross them, and if we utilise that early, I think he's very hard to beat. He's been set for this race for about a year. here we are, and he's in good shape.
Yep, beautiful. And now on to Tony, your best each way chance for the weekend.
I think Forgotten Spirit. It depends how the track's playing,
Yep.
how it's playing, but I think she's got good enough form at $8. Her run the other night at the Gold Coast was phenomenal. She was just wide the whole way and working on a night where it was an advantage to be out there. So I think, and she comes down a little cog, I think, in grade.
Yep.
So I think she's my best each way. In saying that, it's bugger all between her and Exceloquent in that race, but yeah.
And then just at the provincials, best of the provincials, we've got a couple heading to possibly Gatton and Sunshine Coast on Friday, Ipswich Saturday, and maybe one at the Sunshine Coast on Sunday.
Yeah, well, it'd be hard to tip against him, live a little at Sunny Coast, actually. His win was bloody good the other day, but I'm not sure my best of provincials. Savagery Vibe is very well placed, newcomer to the stable at Ipswich. And we've got a pretty good team there. Emily's going to ride Ipswich for us on Saturday, which I think is a really good get for the provincials. So I think follow whatever she's on at Ipswich on Saturday will give you a good sight for your money, and Live a Little's a very good chance at 70 on Sunday.
And just for this week's track work, we had a big morning of gallops on Tuesday. Who was the best in track work on Tuesday?
Who was the best on Tuesday? Itchy was my favourite Tuesday, not for how fast he went, for how controlled he was and what he done. I was really pleased with him. So Itchintogo, Golden Boom, he's right up and about. He had that trial the other week and he's fresh and worked up really nice. He's spot on. Boomtown Boss is great as well. Now's the hour, very good. So
it was a good morning.
Yeah, I think we've got a pretty good strong team in for the first week of the Magic Millions Carnival. It's always a tough week because you're all the Southerners up here as well. But I'm really happy with the team we're presenting on Saturday.
And now it is time for Cav's Corner, proudly supported by Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. No luck, unfortunately, for either of Cav or Maddie's multi last week, so the battle remains at 1-1. Let's head over to Cav's Corner for this week for the multis from Cav and Maddie.
Welcome to Cav's Corner. Last week, touch unlucky, got the first leg. Second leg was a very sick watch. Anyway, this week we'll venture to the Gold Coast. We'll go on the first race, Itchintogo, a win. And we'll wait till the lucky last, and we'll go Boomtown Boss, a win. That's around $6 for the dollar outlay. Good punting, guys.
Hey guys, welcome back to Maddie's Multi. This week I'm going on Saturday at the Gold Coast. I'm going Now Is the Hour, a win, into Boomtown Boss, a win. Good punting, guys.
So Cav has gone Itchintogo, a win, into Boomtown Boss, a win. And then Maddie's multi, she's gone one of her favourite, or two of her favourites, sorry. Now Is the Hour, a win, into Boomtown Boss.
Yeah, well, they're two that she rides. That's why she's gone for them. But they're both good. They're both good multis. Mine would be Itchintogo into Golden Boom, to be honest. My multi, I think he's bang on. So no, they're all good multis. Like I said, good, nice, strong team in down there. The market's reflective of the team we're taking down there, and I feel we're in for a really good day's racing. Saturday evening meeting.
Twilight,
Last year we didn't get to do it. We had to go to the Sunshine Coast. It was all a bit of stuff about. But this year, hopefully we're at the Gold Coast and we're a nice twilight meeting to kick off this big bumper Magic Millions Carnival.
Beautiful. So good luck at the Gold Coast this Saturday, Tony. Certainly the start of one of our favourite weeks. A busy week for everyone involved, but hopefully we can kick it off with a couple of winners on Saturday. Yeah, thanks, Matt. And everyone out there, don't forget to get in touch with Andrew or the team at Gollan Racing if you want to get involved in these yearling purchases coming up over the following week.